I think one of the most moving things I've ever heard is Diet Eman, a leader of the Dutch resistance during the Second World War, talk about her love relationship with Hein. One of the great stories of love and sacrifice during the Second World War. Let's listen to Diet as she shares this powerful story of the triumph of love. How did you find out about Hein's death? I mean, did you find out, was it during the war? What happened? How did you find out about that?
After the war, we were waiting for all the guys who were arrested. So we were waiting for people who came back. And one evening the doorbell rang, and it was the father from a guy who was also in the underground. And he happened to be in the Hague. And he rang the bell, and he came. And I said, "Oh, isn't it wonderful? The war is over, and now we wait, and Hein comes back." And he was very quiet. And then he said, "Well, not everybody will come back." And then he knew he had seen the list, and he came to tell me that Hein had been killed. So I must have made it very difficult for him to tell, you know, because Hein is coming back and whatever. And this poor guy came to tell me because his son was also in Dachau, and the son came back via. It was in June, and the war was over in May. So he heard and he came and told me. Then
so Hein lived through most of the war, but just near the end he died.
But he told me also because one of his, I don't know if it was his son, but a close relative had been in the same camp.
Yes.
And Hein was dragged from one camp to another. He was in the most horrible camp, Neuengamme, that is so famous for being so horrible.
Yes.
And then I thought, Lord, why did he have to go to all those horrible camps? And I was really angry with God. And that you take his life, but why so horrible? And then I heard from this man that Hein everywhere had told people were in the biggest misery about Jesus.
So in the midst of all of it, he talked to people, the missionary at Dachau.
People who sentenced to death.
Yeah.
And then that he wrote that letter, threw it out and said, "We will never be sorry for what we did. Yeah. And if we don't see each other here on earth again, we will surely see each other in heaven."
As Diet Eman shared the story of her fiancé, Hein, and how he eventually went to his death trying to save the Jewish people and save others during the Second World at Dachau, I was just overwhelmed with the emotion that came from his note to Diet, in which he shared the whole story, is that even through his death, he would never have any regrets for having done the right thing.
But then also there was always such a little package with toilet paper. You didn't get toilet paper.
So you looked forward to getting the toilet paper, right?
Yeah.
The little thing with the red from the Red Cross.
And Hein used the toilet paper to write me his last note. And in it he wrote, and that made me...
That isn't it, is it? Is that that's the last
this
note
is
from
broken,
Hein?
I think.
Yes.
But I mean, in that he wrote, and that's what made me so happy, because he suffered so much. I think they did, maybe it was him with the nails, but he threw that paper out when he went to Dachau, where he was killed. And it was found, and it was sent to me. This is not the original.
Okay, that's not the original
one. That's
one.
with the government.
Okay.
But it said, "Please send on." And that was found, and it was in an envelope, and it was sent to my house. And in it was, "We will never be sorry for what we did."
That's what he said.
Because, in the face of death. Because you could think that when you have faced death, that you think, "Oh, goody, I should never have done this." But that made me so happy.
So Hein's last note to you that was written on toilet paper from the Red Cross.
That he loved me the most in the whole world. And that we never would be sorry for what we did.
Yes.
And that God is in control. And I think somewhere Paul says that you give your life for your friends, you know.
That's right. That's right.
And I thought, Hein even gave his life for enemies.
He gave his life for enemies. You know, that's really right.
Also,
that's right. Absolutely.
Not only friends, but enemies too.
Yes. I don't think there's anything more powerful for us as Christians is to have that sense of doing the right thing no matter what happens, no matter the costs or circumstances. And I think listening to Diet was a challenge to me to always, in whatever situation I might face, is to do the right thing that the Lord wants me to do, and to recognize that in doing the right thing, that none of us will ultimately have any regrets as we've brought those things to our Lord, because we love Him and want to honor Him with our lives. And may all of us live a life truly with no regrets.